So it's still Tuesday, and this is interesting to me. We'll see if I upload this, but I'm giving myself permission to videotape because I feel like talking a little bit longer. Not necessarily about music, though. That may come up. My psychic antenna, it's like something's in the air besides me being under the weather. I'm better, thankfully. Still getting there, but getting there. And so today I actually spent a fair amount of time looking at just the absolute insanity that we're dealing with regarding politics, the left and right shit, okay? But before I go there, let me just share a piece of music, and because I don't want to be upset, but I feel like talking a little bit. Thank God for the arts. The political landscape is just frighteningly weird. All of the bigotry and selfish actions going on behalf of elected officials is just frying my brain. DeSantis, I can't even begin to call the names. You all know what I'm talking about. Where these people are just literally trying to stop people from being. It's so senseless. I suppose some people would say, well, there's really not much you can do about it, so are you all hung up about it? I'm not hung up about it, but I'm a concerned citizen. I'll share this, in talking about this online, I was talking to a friend about the politics, and in part their response was, we must vote blue. And I do vote blue, but it's not an answer, and that's just what I had to say. I said, I am not afraid to say just what I see. And I see a lot of, don't see any don't see any representation. And it's real clear to me that we're living in a hegemony, that the folks with the money run things, and that the government that we see is a sham. It's just a puppet. It's who's really running things behind the scenes is not who we think it is. And at this point, it looks to me like one of the people who's really running things is Putin. All of the Russian money that's wrapped up in American politics, and how that very literally keeps people from going against the person holding the money bag. It's just damn, And one thing that keeps this on my plate like this is my old habit that I picked up from my dad of wanting to watch the news. I want to watch the news, and right now the news is not it's hardly news, and it is unbearable, the tragedy and misery throughout the news and the world, and how our so-called leaders and people in positions of power are not addressing. A whole lot of distraction, a whole lot of bigoted, selfish legislation going after. We don't like trans people, and we don't want our kids to know about slavery. We don't want them to feel guilty. What a hogwash bunch of fucking shit. That was history. It's not about somebody feeling guilty. It's up to the individual how to take the information, but those are facts. Slaves built this fucking country. And this whole idea that, well, if we just push, the spectrum of sexuality back into the closet, that somehow that's going to work, and that somehow that is good. That's good for everyone. It's good for society. That's sick. That's fucking sick. Just pisses me off, So, thank goodness for the arts. And again, it makes sense that we just continue to live our lives and have our creature comforts and our loves and all that stuff. But this is the old hippie civil rights person in me who's saying, now I'm just looking at this and it's like, it looks to me like more good people need to somehow find a way to get involved, and voting is a false hope. Of course, we want to try to vote red out, but that's no solution, because blue are liars, and they are slaves to the money too. They represent business, not democracy, not people. And I find it frustrating that so many people are holding on to this false illusion, this illusion that we still live in a democracy. So I just wanted to get on here and just say that. I don't know what I intended for, but I just wanted to do it. So let me turn this music up a little bit. So yeah, another reason why sometimes I can seem a little salty or prickly is because with some people's interactions about you need to hear this and you need to hear that and all this stuff, it's because I can make music, and just like you're hearing here, I can make good music, and that's what I'll do sometimes. Rather than listening, what I need to do is express, and I can make all kinds of music. It saves my sanity. Oh, this is interesting. I don't remember adding that. Those drums. Okay, so this is a piece. I just put up like some stuff, That little bass drum thing, there's like, that's coming out. But this is an older piece. But yeah, if I wanted to, I could do mock-ups of most every kind of music I hear. I could The main thing I want to say about that is that that's why I encourage people to be creative. There's so much power in that, the act of expression. Frankly, what I'm playing is in my archives. I don't even know if I've released what I'm playing. I don't know, because I make it for me. I do. Did I play anything today? Yeah, I played the group therapy, and yeah, this is kind of blue beat. But no, that would be a British band, wouldn't it? That'd be a British description of soul. This is just it's not psychedelic. It's pretty good though. So yeah, I'm not really feeling like pulling and going in that direction. I just needed to just talk a little bit. You know, I'm just, one of the things that has this, again, maybe repeating myself a little bit, but one of the things that has this so much on my plate is watching the way the way shit is playing out over in Ukraine. It's just bad, man. It's bad. And yes, I know that historically the U.S. has done the same thing, invade unfairly and mercilessly. This is nothing new. No one is blameless. I just wish that I could see some sort of sign of humanity, and even some portions trying to wake up to the fact that we're in the decline and try to turn it around. So it's a pie in the sky hope, but it's where my head is at. So I can't think of anything else to say rather than to get into pulling records, and I don't want to. And I'll probably post this. Leave your thoughts. Remember, I'm just expressing what I see, so there is absolutely no reason at all for anyone to leave any sort of shitty, negative responses. It's uncalled for. That's what I'm speaking out about. Ah, okay. See, I'll be having thoughts and then they get away from me. So, let me get this out. I'm going to turn the music off. As I've shared before, I'm a retired, licensed mental health professional. My national license is up because you got to pay to keep it going. My license for Nebraska, if I check it, it's still good. Last time I checked, it's still good. You know, I worked with adults primarily in the majority of my career, because I started out with children, and it's just heartbreaking, and it's just too difficult. It got to the point where it's like, I can't take what the system is doing to these kids. Seriously. And so I chose to move into the adult world. As a rehabilitation specialist, one of the things I did was that I ran groups at the Community Alliance Rehab Center here in Omaha. And I wrote a lot of curriculum based on the standards, okay? And I know from experience that unfortunately the mental health system is really designed to trap and enslave people and devalue them, okay? Once you're labeled mentally ill, you're fucked. And some of the things that they did were just dirty tricks against the people they claimed to be helping. And let me explain one, because it had to do with stuff that I taught. So in my continuing education, after I got out of college, I didn't finish my degree in psychology. Ongoing education, I learned a lot of oh, I forget the terms, but they're like social skills, daily living skills, okay? Things that we were teaching the clients, the consumers, all that attempt to be politically correct, how you talk to people was just such bullshit, because they had me teaching, and these things I use myself. Wonderful stuff. Positive thinking, assertiveness, communicate, listening skills, esteem building, classes on self-esteem. But one of the courses that I really enjoy teaching that turns out it's just a big fat bullshit lie was assertiveness and positive communication skills, where the system is saying to the mentally ill, well, if you just get your act together and ask for things right, or say things or act more regular, the world will treat you better. Use assertiveness, be positive, And I love teaching that stuff. But you know what? The people who told me, the system that tells me to teach it to the people who are really being treated like dogs, they don't use them. Look at the political landscape. We don't see assertiveness being used, where you say what you mean and with clarity. We don't see positive communication skills going on. We see a lot of very juvenile, immature name calling, making assumptions and then blurting them out as though they're facts, and because people are so reactionary, all of a sudden it's real. And this is used against people. It's being used against, do you catch what I'm saying? Every time I listen to a politician, it's obfuscation, bullshit, lies, no truth whatsoever. I mean, I can read between the lines. They want something, but they don't want to help me or you. So I don't know what to do. Of course, I'm going to continue to vote. And I do social actions when it's appropriate. But I tell you what, Noam Chomsky said it. He's someone who is, he's astute. He can see what's up. He was saying that, this is probably the most dangerous time in recent history that we have seen. Far more dangerous than the Cold War. And that's also what brought these thoughts up, is remembering how as a child, how I absorbed, or rather how I processed living in a Cold War mentality, with the idea that somebody could drop the bomb on us, and you never know, and just that it was just such an unstable and an unnecessary feeling. And I don't have that feeling, but the state that we're in is beyond Cold War. It's worse. If anything, we're already dragged into the Third World War. We're just not acknowledging it. We're not calling it that. But that's what's happening, because this isn't going to stop. Every time I look at the news, I don't see any sign of hope. I really think that everyone, me, you, everyone watching this video, we have a stake in this, and we're not meeting the challenge. I'm putting the foot in my ass as much as I'm trying to put it in yours. Think about these things. This is just my perspective. Okay? Yeah. I just, you may watch part of this and say, oh, fuck that, Higgins. I don't even want to hear that shit. Cool with me. Like I said, I needed to say these things, okay? For whatever reason, for my own sanity's sake. You can share your thoughts with me. be assertive, be positive. There is absolutely no reason for you to come over here in anger, spouting off at me. I deal with it. That's why I'm saying don't do it. Because something's wrong with you. If that's how you want to respond to me, get your mind together and talk to me like an adult. Not like to me, the majority of adults are worse than teenagers. Take that like you want. You smart people know what I fucking mean, okay? Immaturity and brains not fully developed, so you ain't thinking straight, okay? All right, I'm done.